Unfortunately, AMC just hit a new all-time low. From its peak until this point, it's down in excess of 98%. Year to date, it's down 90%. And from the moment that the CEO, Adam Aron, announced an additional dilution of 40 million shares, it's down roughly 50%. It's pretty safe to say that it's an ape-fueled bloodbath, and that includes myself. For the point of this video, I want you to know that yes, in the past, I've been very open about this. I've actively traded AMC options, but in the past year or two, I forget the exact timeline, I've just held onto my AMC stock. As I'm filming this right now, and you can check this out, my position is publicly available. I am not short. I don't have calls. I don't have puts. I'm simply an owner of AMC stock. So I'm saying that in a way to let you know that I'm not here happy that this is happening. Obviously, my own financial situation is intertwined with the success and or failure of AMC because I own AMC. But just from a moral standpoint, whether I agree with you or don't agree with you, you're still a retail trader. You're still a retail investor. I want you to be successful because it's already difficult enough. And it's on that note that I'm really making this video because I have a couple thoughts I want to share with all of you, but I also have some important questions. And I don't mean these questions rhetorically. If you so choose, I would love to hear from you. I want your opinion. So obviously, things have not been going in the direction most of us want it to be going in. In fact, it's been going the exact opposite. And to better understand where everyone's mind at over the past couple of weeks, I've been listening to Twitter space calls that are clearly in support of AMC and clearly against AMC. And I have to admit, I was confused. In fact, I don't even think I have the right word because I think they were both living in their own echo chambers. So on one side, when I was listening to the support AMC Twitter space calls, it blew my mind. We had people who were saying very dangerous things, and they weren't meaning it in the internet troll sense. These were all statements that were said very, very earnestly, and they meant it. Like you could tell in their core that they meant all the times when they said AMC is gonna squeeze tomorrow, they're acting as if you just have enough faith. If you just wait one more day, AMC will squeeze. I also heard a person who was relatively new to the market and they simply asked, well, how high could it go? And the honest answer was that it could somehow squeeze to infinity. Like, what is this? We've seen it before where everyone had to outdo everyone else and have a higher price target and a higher price target and a higher price target to somehow show how much of an ape they were by just saying that they believed in a higher number. It absolutely blew my mind. But the saddest part was how so many people were saying, yes, we are open for conversation. We are the retail community and we love to learn. That's what this is all about. I heard a lot of discussion about, hey, we're helping each other out. And then yet they were saying you can only come up and speak if you already agreed that both AMC and Adam Aron are awesome and they're not doing anything wrong. They're literally talking about how they're their own echo chamber, but to be fair, it doesn't stop there. Like I said, I listened to the other side Twitter space calls too, and yeah, they were a little bit more into like the fundamentals, and it was more of a personal bashing of how a lot of the supporters are uninformed. But really the thing that jumped out to me is they're in fact their own echo chamber, and I think that they're missing a lot of the human aspect because that's how this all started. To me, this was a group of people that, yes, through technology, through the internet, decided to fight against some of the things that they viewed to be malpractice within Wall Street and the markets in a general sense. And that's what I thought AMC was always about. That's what I thought even GME was always about. And that's what I thought the retail movement was about. I thought it was a group of people who came together, started to learn a little bit more about the market, and started to learn about the things that were a little suspect and started to call it out. And to me, with GameStop or AMC or list any of these others, it doesn't really matter. It's not really detracting from my point. I always thought that's what it was. It was this active trade of we think the shorts are stuck and we think we could screw with them and cause them some pain and maybe make some money in the meantime while we're pointing out egregious mishaps within the market. But now all of a sudden, that argument has been somehow through like a Frankenstein transformation turned into this concept of no, we are fundamental investors in this particular stock, specifically AMC, and we love it. And this is the only way to fight for retail. I have to admit, my mind was blown because I've been involved with this from the start, and the changes that it's gone through, it blows my mind. It truly blows my mind of how we could even have potentially gotten here. Now, I think this is important to say. I get that this is an emotionally heightened time. It's an emotionally volatile time because that's what happens whenever money's on the line, especially when money is being lost. And my heart goes out to everyone. And I want you to know that I'm there with you. My own AMC investment is down in terms of equity. And then if I look at my net positions on all my AMC trades, that's down multiple six figures. I am not in any way creating this video from a point of bragging of, look at this, I got it right, I'm so smart. No, in fact, the opposite is true. But I really just want to talk about what in the world is going on with retail. And my main question that I would love for anyone to answer is, why to support the retail movement? Why to support the fight for market transparency and fairness do we have to specifically support AMC? And even on top of that, why do we have to specifically support Adam Aron? What if you just don't particularly care about AMC? What if you don't particularly care about Adam Aron, but you still have issues with any form of manipulation? What if you just have issues with our elected officials, our politicians trading actively in the market when they have access to non-public information? What if you just have issues with the opaqueness of FTD reporting in a general sense, or how long it takes to get reported to the market? Or what about the big guys who they have to report their long positions, their calls or puts, but not their shorts? I could sit here and keep listing things in the market that just don't seem logical, that just don't seem transparent, that just don't seem fair. And to me, that's the fight for retail, making it a fair and transparent landscape for anyone to engage in. But all of a sudden, there's a cohort of people on the internet who believe that the only way you could support retail is by saying you absolutely love AMC and everything about it is perfect. And then essentially Adam Aron, the CEO, is some sort of financial messiah. He's a suit. Let's be honest about it. If he believes so much in his own skill set, if he believes so much in his own company, why did he sell so much stock? He's personally profited over $40 million by selling stock. His public equity friends, Antara, Mudrick, they made a killing on this deal. And do you know who I see really hurting because of the whole situation? I see retail investors. I see time and time again, the average Joes, the average Janes getting up, trying to support a movie theater because they love it and they love the movement. And then all of a sudden, there's almost this internet bullying going on. And I see this on both sides. I've seen threats. I've seen doxing. I've seen name calling. It's absurd. And it goes in both directions. And all of a sudden, when you realize that the retail group is having so much infighting, well, who wins in that deal? Well, it's obviously Wall Street, the group we all set out to kind of course correct to begin. Well, they're loving it because no one's focusing on them anymore. And I get it. This video, I'm really making it for all the people who came in and you're like, dude, I was just asking a question and out of nowhere, you got called a shill. Out of nowhere, you were accused of working for a hedge fund when you're just trying to learn a little bit more about the market. For me personally, what's the common detractor for me is, fanny packs. Yeah, I sold merch. You know what? I ended up raising more than $30,000 for St. Jude, a charity that I personally really care about. Are you kidding me? So all of a sudden, it's this low-level mudslinging and name-calling and doxing and threats, and it's really just pure tribalism. And all of a sudden, as these tribes are fighting and fighting and fighting, no one's really paying attention to what's going on Wall Street. And then on top of that, the group itself is so fascinated with bashing each other that they're not progressing as traders or investors themselves. It just absolutely blows my mind. And I guess what I wanted to say, as things have been clearly falling apart here, my question to all of you, and more so I just want to let you know that if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, no. I enjoyed learning about GME. I enjoyed learning about AMC. I learned a ton. I like the markets. And if you view the markets as a vehicle for you to improve your financial situation, maybe for one time in your life to get like a step ahead, I support you. I very, very much support you. If you tell me you're a retail trader and investor, To me, that doesn't mean you have to love Adam Aron and assume everything he does is right. And if you do, hey, I wish you the best of luck. I am not here to bash on it. I'm investing myself. I want it to work out, but I'm so incredibly tired of this statement that to be a real ape, to be a real retail trader, you have to love Adam Aron. You have to love AMC. And my question to that is why? Because if we remember the start of this actual movement, it was a much more general sense thing, but then what? I guess because people aren't happy that they top ticked it when it ripped from 2 to 72, they're now changing their thesis halfway through it, and they feel like if you're not doing that with them, you're somehow the bad guy, the shill, someone working for a hedge fund. It's childish, and no one's going to get anywhere with it. And I know, I get it. Maybe I hope I could change a couple people's minds, but even in me creating this, I fully understand that I'm going to be called all of those names, probably even worse, and I'm not going to change their minds. But this video is for those of you out there who, maybe you think it's a little bit ridiculous. Maybe you think it's a little bit childish that it's become this bad, this absurd of a situation. I just want you to know that I support you. I am on your side of retail, learning with each other, of becoming better traders and investors, cross-pollinating with knowledge, and bringing your own life circumstances, hopefully, to the next level. I just wanted to share these words. Obviously, I know emotions are high. This video isn't meant to make anyone feel worse. If anything, I'm trying to tell the people out there where you think maybe the absurdity has hit a point where you're like, dude, I don't even know what's going on. I'm still there with you, because to me, the movement of retail is exactly that. It is retail traders and investors supporting other retail traders and investors, not this lowbrow bashing and almost sycophantic nature that you have to support what a suit is doing day in and day out. Now, obviously, I don't mean any of this rhetorically. I would truly love to get your thoughts. Let me know in a comment below where your mindset is at. If you hate me, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. I just want to get a better feel for really where this audience is at, because I'm starting to get really strong suspicions that certain written social media, such as Twitter or Reddit, is now just at the point where it's absolutely filled with bots. And beyond that, I think we could be honest, and it's filled with people who are popping off with their opinions, whether they're cosplaying as a financial advisor or someone going on and on about phase sticks, who obviously they just need their own mental assistance in life because it's just not a good situation, or overall just these hopium and copium getting pumped down everyone's throats because they don't want to admit that it hasn't gone the way that they very much need it to go. So they would rather, I guess, spin a good story and tell lies than admit the truth. So I would love to hear from you, and I'll catch you in the next video.